Hi, I'm Lainey Newman, and I'm going to be speaking with you about the importance of adopting a dog. By adopting a dog, you're helping do such a simple thing to help make a huge change in the world. By adopting a dog, you're helping save the life of an animal, change their life and your life, maybe save some money, and shed light on shelters everywhere. Personally, I bought specific breeds of dogs, adopted dogs, and saved them from certain situations, whether it was on the side of the road or from someone who did not want them. These are sad situations, and adoption can help put an end to animals being put in situations like these. I've also made it a point to research and become more educated about the adoption process so that I can better inform others about how beneficial it can be. It's an exciting thing, and you just want to love those animals. I'd like to give you a brief history about how pet adoption began. Homeless animals have not always been protected in the United States, and like most societal institutions, animal adoption and shelters have a history. An American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals was founded in 1866, and it was the first animal welfare organization in the U.S. and focused initially on mistreatment of horses. Several other humane societies were founded in other cities but were not affiliated with one another. At first, dog licenses were issued to raise money for the organizations which were meant to protect private property and provide public safety rather than to protect the animals. The Pennsylvania's SPCA became the first to focus on the treatment of shelter animals in 1874. Prior to the 1970s, most shelters were largely focused on humane euthanasia of animals that were not adopted or reclaimed. In the 1970s, veterinary input led to increased preventative care and treatment programs. But in 1877, the American Humane Society had a meeting and spoke about many options. That year, they put an end to the inhumane treatment not only to dogs, but to children too. This was such a positive change and a step forward in the direction of adoption, and especially in my opinion. Without this meeting or decision, we'd be nowhere near where we are now with the amount of shelters we have all over the world for children and animals. When you adopt an animal, you're not only changing, but you're saving their life. Some animals in shelters have been beaten or abandoned, and you're giving them a second chance at life. This is so awesome. Another reason adoption is so important is that you help break the cycle of pet overpopulation. There aren't so many animals that get euthanized just because they didn't get adopted. Euthanasia, it can be defined as a painless killing of a patient, such as an animal, whether it be for an incurable disease or not. So there may not be a reason for the euthanasia, which isn't fair. They don't get a chance at life. But each year, 1.5 million shelter animals are euthanized, and 670,000 of them are dogs, and 860,000 are cats. When you make the decision to adopt a pet, you give them a lifetime resource with shelter employees and volunteers as well. The employees and volunteers at the shelter would be great resources to find information and answer any questions that you might have about your animals. You should know that when you adopt a pet, you're adopting a pet who's been receiving the best care possible. The animal that you adopt has been vaccinated, gone through screen behavior processes, and have had weekly visits from their healthcare or like the veterinarians that are around them. So you know you're adopting a pet that has been well taken care of and will most likely be so friendly and loving, and they'll be good with people, children of all ages. Although also you're supporting a valuable charity and community institution when you are adopting a pet. You're also encouraging others around you to adopt animals from shelters. Like if a family or friend asks you where you got your dog from, you'll have to tell them you got them from a shelter, and that will make them think more about it. This sheds light on animal shelters everywhere, and it makes people think more about adopting a pet instead of just going out to buy one. You're benefiting the world when you adopt a pet. You're changing their life as well as your own, and hopefully you'll gain a forever best friend.